What is something you hope viewers were able to take away from We're Here? What lessons do you want queer kids and parents to have really learned from this, Bob?
A consideration. Have we tried considering our neighbors? Have we tried considering what it might be like for a Black person, for a trans person, for an Indigenous person? Have you considered what it might be like for an Indigenous person to go to this place on a land that is stolen and have to exist under the knowledge that it's just not their land anymore, or being ushered into an area where they're forced to live? Like, have we considered those things? And I think that we somehow over the course of our, maybe we didn't lose, maybe we didn't have it, but there seemed to not be a lot of consideration.
And, you know, Eureka, what about you? Considering you just mentioned the Erica and her daughter, what are you kind of hoping that queer kids and maybe parents can take away from this show?
You know, honestly, I think that they take away the ability to communicate about some of these topics. I think it's conversations are really important. You know, we get the luxury of being in households that maybe drag and queer culture wouldn't normally be talked about or explained in this way. You know, so I just hope that people take from these stories and they start navigating maybe issues or conversations that they need, or they're provided with a little bit more knowledge to be able to have these conversations with fellow friends or people online or things like that. I mean, it's very, you know, learn something from it. There's a lot of knowledge to be gained through the experiences that these people have told their stories on. You know, specifically the Navajo Nation is something that I learned a lot about through Bob working with Nay and Suga. And it was Lady Suga, and it was very important for me to learn that and to get to see that, you know, and the trans stories with Shangela. I mean, it's all important. Every conversation we had was important. So I hope people gain that.
You know, and I'm curious, as you're meeting these families and these people who want to put on this drag show and learn about drag queen culture, are there any questions that are off the table where you're like, never ask this? Or are you guys all very much open to be like, no stupid question is a bad question, we want you to learn? Like, how do each of you guys take that? Or are there no-nos in drag culture that you're not supposed to say? Shangela, you can start.
Well, we just have to, for me, when I'm going into these different homes, is people who are not familiar with the drag experience or with drag queens in general. You know, I'm talking to Hunter's dad, who is a U.S. Navy veteran, you know, who drives Harley Davidson motorcycles and goes to biker bars, you know, kind of thing. I don't want to ever make them feel uncomfortable about asking any questions. I think that if any question is delivered with respect, there is great ignorance for all of us about different subjects that we may not be familiar with. I'm walking in there hopefully as someone who they feel that they are comfortable coming to as a resource. If you want to ask about drag, ask me. Maybe you want to know how long it takes to tuck, ask me. That's fine. It does not offend me because I know who I am. I love who I am, and I stand proudly as a drag entertainer who is down to share information that hopefully brings us all closer together.
I love that. Bob, would you agree with that? Or are there any questions that are off limits for you?
Well, there's some questions off limits for me. Maybe me and Shane have different approaches. I mean, I think that you could approach people with the respect that you would approach a stranger with. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that a lot of time, for example, if you have like a trans drag queen, maybe you don't ask them about their genitals, which seems to be a thing that people will still do, like in the media, in the news. So, do you still have that's none of your business? Like, right. Why do you need to know?
Also, it's not furthering the conversation, maybe. Sorry.
Yeah, it's not furthering the conversation. Yeah, it's not furthering the conversation. It's just you appeasing this little bit of curiosity you have about this individual person specifically. And I see it a lot in media. People ask, and not just trans drag queens, but trans people in general. They'll ask them these questions, and my thought process is like, "But Mary, why? Like, why did you ask? Like, you wouldn't, you know, if Dwayne The Rock Johnson sat down, you wouldn't ask him about his genitals. Mm-hmm. So why would you ask Laverne Cox?"
You know, and just in the nature of asking good questions, what's the difference between a Karen and a Mary? Just got to know. What's the difference there?
Oh, Mary. I say Mary. Everyone's Mary. Anyone who I'm talking to in the moment is Mary. I'm like, yeah, Mary.
Okay,
listen,
good.
Mary.
So I'm a Mary right now, right? Not a Karen,
Mary,
right?
No, not a Karen.
Sisterly fun. Yeah, it's not Karen.
Mary Well, We're Here is not only nominated for an Emmy, but it's also been renewed for a second season. So 2 congratulations are in order. What do you hope to see or do in season 2 that you might not have gotten the chance to do previously, Eureka?
For me, The only thing I didn't get a chance to do was my second solo number. I keep saying that. I'm obviously still distraught. We rotate hosting the shows, and the last show, Spartanburg, I was supposed to get to host the show with my little production. And I only keep mentioning this, y'all, because I had worked so hard on my little choreography. I had my outfits ready. I was going to give you a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I was ready. So I didn't get to do the pads like I thought I would. So I want to go back to Spartanburg. I think it's something that we didn't get to finish. We kind of got to touch these people's these lives for a moment, and they were really excited about it. I know my child was really excited about it, Noah, and I know they can't wait to get a chance to do it. So I hope we get to finish that episode. And then otherwise, we're just going to go in and be gayer and put on bigger shows and, do more fabulous things and continue just to tell stories that need to be told that don't normally get to amplify their voice. And we get the luck and the privilege, honestly, to amplify more voices that haven't gotten to be heard yet in some new, incredible small towns. So I can't wait.
Maybe all three of you could drive in on big wigs this time into the towns and just switch up the car scene. Because
I love my elephant.
I'm into that, though. I gotta say, the cars are the best part. I mean, come on.
Thank you.
Bob, what about you? What do you hope to see in season 2 that maybe you didn't get to do in season 1?
Girl, even more representation. Like, I know we dug deep into the representation pool here. We had people who were differently abled. We had people of different socioeconomic statuses, gender identities. But let's go even more. Let's reach further. Let's do more. Let's make sure that in getting more and more seasons of this show, I want to try to make sure that as many people get to see themselves on this screen as possible.
Yeah.
And Shangela, I'll give you the final word. What about you?
Well, anytime that you have a second season or a sequel, you want to say it's going to be bigger, it's going to be better, and this one, more glitter, okay? I think I reiterate what my co-stars here say, in which we just want to be able to showcase more of the amazing stories that exist in queer communities and for queer people across America in small conservative spaces. If we get to be the people who shine a light on important stories that need to be told so that people can connect with them and hopefully grow, that's what we want to do.
Well, as a member of the queer community, I thank all three of you for bringing it the gayest it can possibly be, the most glitter ever. Thank you so much for joining me today, and congratulations on season 2 and your Emmy nominations. Well deserved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, stream season 1 of the incredible Emmy nominated show. We are here on HBO and HBO Max right now.